wanted to just welcome our guests here from Albania and share with you Macedonia, and Kosovo and Montenegro, and we want to make sure we protect the rights of ethnic Albanians all over the world. The United States has a major role in this because we have some challenges ahead of us. One is a resurgent Russia. So we want to make certain that in the middle of all of this, we don't end up with the rights of Albanians encroached upon. Another problem for Albanians is what is coming out of some of these DioGuardi schools funded by some prominent families, like the Bin Laden family, out of the Gulf states. And it's churning up a very radical adversarial interpretation. What they're trying to do is replace indigenous Muslim culture around the world with a viewpoint which is foreign to the history. And it is creating a problem for some of my friends in the Albanian Muslim community, and I don't doubt in your region for some problems there as well. And they've asked our help in trying to confront this. And as they say, first order of business, make certain that ISIL, that we bring together the international community, put a stop to ISIL. The other thing I hear is the most important issue for reform in the former Soviet states and in Eastern Europe. What can the United States help do to push for and bring about the economic reforms, anti-corruption reforms that are really going to bring foreign investment in and create economic growth? And that's another area where on our committee we're trying to do more. Congressman Rohrbacher chairs the subcommittee that is focused upon this part of the world and Europe and Russia and this region. And we are committed to working together in order to make certain that those reforms go through and in order to provide a little leverage to help the governments bring about the necessary changes legislatively that must go forward if we're going to see the kind of economic growth and opportunity we want to see for the next generation of young ethnic Albanians all over the world. With that said, maybe we could open to any questions that we should answer.
That's a very good statement. Thank you.
We are reforming Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty right now. The bill is over in the Senate, and our goal is to get back to the kind of aggressive communication we did under Ronald Reagan. The concept is to reach out to each of these language groups, linguistic groups, educate Russians on the issue of what's really happening, and on tolerance, respect for minority rights, political pluralism, what it means, what kinds of abuses are occurring in this part of the world and around the world, and do the same thing in Albanian, do the same thing in Serbian, do the same thing in Croatian, etc., etc. Why? Because they never heard, the Croatians and the Serbs never heard this message. And boy, did we pay for it. And boy, did you pay for it. Because I had a Croatian journalist tell me, oh, but if we could have heard something other than Serbian hate radio and Croatian hate radio and all of the radios from all of the different ethnic groups all hate each other, Yugoslavia might have had a very different transition rather than the conflict. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you broadcast to the Slovakians, you broadcast to the Czechs. Look at the way things were handled with the Czech Republic and Slovakia, without the loss of a single human life. You were broadcasting there. You did not broadcast here. Okay, so let's learn. Let's get up with public diplomacy and begin the lesson plan. But let's add to that the requirement that civil society have a voice to fight corruption so that even governments which are our allies feel the pressure to reform, feel the necessity to hear the people, feel and hear the voice of civil society that says, time for the economic reforms, time for the anti-corruption bill, time for the transparency. I think a lot of this can be done, but we need more engagement. We'll do this. We will do this with your help.
You got to run it over.
And I'm late.
Yes. She's got to cast a vote. I think you got got to do is vote. See you.
I do.
Yes.
It's good to overcompensate.
Shannon Royce, between 4 and 5, we're going to see you at the Capitol